Okay. Um,
Wait for a second.
um, I'm still here. I'm still listening. I'm just doing a lot of nonsense as I'm doing it. Right. So, hi, my name is Casey Monta, and if you're new here, this is From Your Big Sister, a series where we talked about things I desperately need to talk about, or I kind of just talk about whatever I'm going to talk about today. And for today's video, we're going to talk about being a villain. And so, I think I have a video, like it kind of just popped in my head as I started the topic, and I'm not very good at balancing being on the video and I'm not farting. I'm moving myself in my seat, so shut the fuck up. And it's an anime for sure. But today's video, I want to talk about being a villain and how being a villain in someone's life is actually not all that bad. Listen, now bear with me, bear in mind. I hate to say it like that because truly I am a person who I don't really like. I mean, if I'm a villain in someone's, and I stand on this, and I really hate that I have to say it like this, and I know it really makes me sound like the type of person, but I'm gonna be completely transparent and brutally honest. Honestly, I'm the type of person that if I became a villain in your life, I really feel like that. I feel like there's something. I feel like there was a confusion going on. Maybe you don't understand. Like I can accept if you feel like I'm a villain, but I don't really understand why you think I'm a villain because bitch, I'm a sweetheart. I'm a true sweetheart, and I'm like I don't like to make people feel bad. I'm not a big person on that. So this one, unfortunately, I cannot use it to relate to a little brother or big sister. I think in this video, it's just specifically, it is. I don't know what it is. I can't really use it to relate to my little brother or sister, but I think I'm just going to be here to be more encouraging on the topic itself. Now, um, being the villain is not that bad all the time. I feel like if you're truly a villain, then you're a villain for a good reason, and being a villain is a bad thing. Now, to become a villain in someone's story is to become a superhero in your own story for your own beneficial growth. Now, does that sound a bit selfish? 100%. And the reason why I say that is because when you take the time to do something solely for yourself and your own growth and your own beneficial, you tend to lose sight of how that is affecting someone or anyone around you, and that typically can cause some type of hate. Most of the time, people don't give a shit. Sometimes people give a shit. It depends on the type of person you are. Now, um, when you are a person who is how villains are created, and I'm not gonna use the classic Sasuke and the fucking Uchiha clan. I'm sorry, Itachi. Like, I'm not gonna use that specific anime, but we're gonna use an anime reference in this. I've pulled the anime up already. But it's usually a right versus wrong situation. Naturally, when you are an enemy, or I'm sorry, you are a villain in the story, it's because there's a good guy and then there's, of course, the bad guy. Naturally, the good guy and the bad guy are aware of each other and they know each other. They have some type of understanding on the other's identity and they have crossed paths at one point in time in life. Now, the good guy. The good guy is someone who is very selfless, who does everything that benefits everybody else and doesn't really blink twice about, having to put their own life on the back burner. Like, they are people that are typically seen as the good guy because they are always giving. Then we have the bad guy, the villain. The villain is someone who's portrayed to be super selfish, who is very inconsiderate, who's like doesn't give a shit about nobody but themselves, don't care who they hurt, they move on in life. This is basic definition on a superhero and a villain. But what a lot of people don't get is that a villain isn't often a villain for evil reasons. And I know that sounds crazy, but and you could probably name a few people who are just villains just to be villains. Like, I can't tell you that. I can't take that from you. Like, some people are just naturally fucking dicks, and that's what a villain is. Um, but I'm saying this topic simply for the people who are villains in someone's story because they are the superhero that turned into the bad guy. you stopped doing so much for so much. I'm sorry, you stopped doing so much for other people, and you decided to do more for yourself. Now, when you are a person who is used to giving all the time, and you're around people that are easily taking, and they're not taking in the sense that they're like putting you down, but they take, like, it's just very a neutral take from someone, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like, oh, I know you're gonna pick up the ride, or it doesn't matter what the situation is. But when you finally say in your mind that, oh, I'm no longer going to do this or accept that or let you take that from me, then that's when you become being funny, or you're switching up, or you're acting different. And people don't naturally take that very easily. People are used to putting you in some type of slot in their brain, within their emotional category, their mental category, their relationship, phone book, black book, however you want to put it. You fit somewhere in something in someone's life. In the moment that you decide to not be that anymore, it can make you seem like a very shitty person to that person. But we are not aware that that person is going to naturally react off of some type of switch of behavior, and it's up to you to not take that as them being the one that's being different in this scenario, but reacting naturally. You have to remember that you are making the point today to not be the good guy anymore. You are deciding to be like, you know what? I know you're used to getting this off of me, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not gonna take that, and I'm not. Imagine listening to that on audio. I just put that Vaseline on my lips, so I was. Um. So you say, I'm not gonna take this anymore. I'm not gonna let you do that, and they're gonna react off that. Now, 100%, I'm gonna say like, hey, you kind of gotta be understanding about that, because you're pulling the rug under somebody's feet, and they're not used to that. So if they react some type of way off of that, you can't be like, oh my god, why are you acting like that? Well, for one, bitch, they're used to you acting some way for like this whole time, and now you're being different, so they're not knowing how to adjust to that. Now, two things happen: either you guys work it out and you move forward, or they just decide to never talk to you and hang out with you anymore. And depending on whichever one you go through is whatever one you go through. But that's typically how being a villain is not always a bad thing for you. I feel like we don't really understand what villains really are. So I'm gonna show you what a villain really is, and I'm gonna use this reference. If you watch anime, great, you're gonna get it. Or if you've never seen this anime before, then that's fine. But I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna say it forever. I'm an anime girly. I'm just now getting deeper into different animes. I've always been like Tokyo Ghoul, Black Clover, like that was all like those. Dragon Ball Z, like Naruto. I wasn't a Naruto fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very much of a. I did not like that shit. So we're gonna be clearly honest. Okay, so if you're an audio listener, the anime that I pulled up was The Tower of God. If you're watching, this is The Tower of God. If you've watched it, then you know what I mean. So naturally, I watch anime, and I'm a sucker for a love story, or I'm a sucker for a good guy turning, that's upgrading to be with his bitch. I'm very much like that. But this bitch right here, I do not like her. This is a villain. This is a true definition of a villain. She's completely selfish, and he is selfless. Now, let me explain. Very simple on the explanation. She was a nobody. She wanted to go see a star. Now, in the world that they in, it's possible, but you have to. If you know this, bitch. I can't tell you how happy I was when my computer showed that it can do this. I was very ecstatic. Right. They lived somewhere where you have to go travel up a tower, and once you get to the top of the I'm sorry, once you get to the top of the tower, you can make a wish, and her wish was gonna be she was gonna see the star. Him, Bond. Bond was at the bottom of some type of like rock hill, and she broke it down. Her name is fucking Bitch. I really don't remember her real name. I just called her Bitch throughout the whole anime. So Bitch, she broke it down, and she saw him down there, and she went down there, and she basically cared for him, loved him, taught him how to read, told him about the star that she wanted so bad. You know, she wanted to be somebody so bad that she betrayed him so she could be able to be somebody. And he didn't give a fuck. He didn't care. He was so selfless. He didn't give a fuck that she betrayed him. He still fucking loved the bitch. He still cared about the bitch. He still wanted the bitch to go. Like, when I tell you that she's a true definition of a villain, because you don't have okay, let me slow down. So she got enrolled to be able to climb the tower, but the guardian of the tower knew she wasn't an ancient bitch. Period. Point blank. He looked at her and he said, "Bitch, you're not an ancient. You're an ancient ass bitch, and you're not gonna climb this tower because you are evil on the fucking inside. You have a black spirit, and I know that for a fact. So I'm not even gonna allow you to climb." She, on the other hand, said, "Oh, I'll do whatever you want. Just please let me go. Please let me do it." Because initially they were trying to get Bond to go, and he was the one that was supposed to go up the tower because he's a sweet fucking kid. You get what I'm saying? So the guardian, I'm not gonna lie, he's really not a good person his damn self. His job is to keep it exciting. Moral of the story: the anime is surfacing around a game in a tower, so he's supposed to keep it exciting. So he said, "You know what, bitch? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna show you why you don't belong here." So then he brought Bond, and Bond went to do the task that the guardian was looking for someone to do. She could not do it because she was an evil bitch. No joke. She went to the fucking ball to try to push through, and she couldn't go through because she was an evil fucking bitch. Like, I'm not milking this shit. I'm being so fucking serious. So now that she saw Bond being able to do it, she's so confused because she's like, "Oh my God, I raised you. Technically, I took care of you. How are you able to do something and I'm not able to do it? I'm the one that wants to start. You don't want nothing." So while Bond went through this whole tower, of course he made friends. He's the sweet kid of the anime, so he's supposed to make friends. But every time he meets someone, he's always like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to say Rachel." I think her name is Rachel. I really don't know this bitch name. Yeah, her name's Rachel. "I'm gonna go say Rachel, and I'm gonna find Rachel, and da 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 Rachel, and da 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 Rachel." Like, he's all about this girl, and for a while we forgot all about this bitch. I'm not gonna lie. So when she popped back up, he still was going out his way to save her. That's the first season. She betrayed him in the first season. He still was trying everything in his ability to give her, like, you can see the bitches in the chair. Spoiler alert, she was faking that shit. Like, he was doing everything he can. So in the second season, now Bond, because he was betrayed and he was pushed off, and now he's gonna be laying here in this thing, he had to join a very bad crew of people. Very bad. I'm not saying they badass, but they bad. And he had to join them because they said if he didn't, they were gonna harm Rachel and all his friends. So he was a superhero that turned villain, but he turned villain for a selfish reason. But once all of his old friends figured out what the fuck he was doing, they were like, "Oh my God, nigga, you're evil." Now, I don't really know how much that has to translate into it. I just really wanted to use them as a great example. But, I mean, like I said, I'm an anime bitch, so I kind of got sucked into it. But essentially, Bond became a villain to become a hero in his friend's story. So I want to circle back and say it's okay to be a villain if it's beneficial to you. A lot of times people are out here being villains just to be villains. A lot of times people are out here being villains just out of hate because they were hurt and they were scorned. So now they're just out here to just do it back. And I'm going to say that if you're going to go be a villain in anyone's story, at least be a villain in do it to make sure that you're doing it because you know that that's best for you. It's going to actually push you somewhere to go far and do whatever you got to do. I'm sorry, I hope that relates to anything, but that's all I have for today's video. Again, my name is Kay Shavante, and this is from your big sister. You can catch me on any of these social media platforms, or you can catch me on audio on Spotify, and I'll see you in the next.